The one on your left is me and my grandfather, William N. Cunningham, for whom I am named. It was taken in 1952. If you're doing the mental math, that was 71 years ago. The other picture is you probably recognize the Elliott Chapel. Let me explain the connection between these photos, as well as the yellow box outlining the foundation of the Elliott Chapel. As I reflect on the photo of me and my grandfather, and considering the smile on my face, I think he was tickling my bottom. He was a long-time educator. My mom used to tell me he was very stern, but soft as butter on the inside, particularly when it came to me. One way he showed his soft side was by hiding candy in his coat pocket for me to find. On my 5th birthday, April 12th, 1957, and note the month and day for your records, he wrote me a note. And here's what it said. Dear Billy, or as the little old Italian ladies in the Northern California town where I grew up called me, Billy. Just a little remembrance of your 5th birthday. May all your days be days of usefulness. Do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with thy God. Remember that true love is the greatest force in the world. Much love from your failing granddad, W.N. Cunningham. And yes, there is an E on the end of Cunningham. What does his sweet note have to do with the Elliott Chapel? Well, here's a little more background. I moved to Portland in the spring of 2000 to begin working from home. I was an early adopter. That summer, I attended the Pride Festival on the waterfront and picked up a list of welcoming churches in the Portland area as I was interested in finding a new spiritual home. I had extricated myself from the church of my youth and longed for a religious versus spiritual, as our intern minister Danielle Garrett shared in her sermon several weeks ago. Community that supported and welcomed me as an out queer man. I decided to visit the various congregations on the list to see which one would be a good fit for me and them. As I recall, First Unitarian was the 3rd church on the list. And in the summer of 2000, Sunday services were actually held in the Elliott Chapel next door. The first service I attended was led by the then intern minister, Rob Hardees, a gay man who went on to serve as senior minister at All Souls Unitarian Church in Washington, D.C. On my second visit, I learned our senior minister, Reverend Marilyn Sewell, was a divorced former Catholic, and the associate minister was a gay man. Then on my 3rd visit, I noticed a Bible verse inscribed on the foundation of the Elliott Chapel. It's outlined in yellow in the picture. It's from Micah chapter 6, verse 8, and reads, What doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God? Though I didn't recognize the verse at first, it sounded familiar. When it dawned on me where I had read it before, it was like an affirmation from my grandfather, 43 years after he wrote my birthday note. I knew then that I'd found my new spiritual home. Next to meeting my husband in 2003, it was one of the best discoveries of my life. I've learned so much from the many congregants and staff that I've gotten to know and love here at First Unitarian. Though my grandfather may not have been thinking of influencing my search for a new spiritual home when he wrote that note, I am forever grateful he said what he did. His note is a reminder that I am not here for myself, but to serve others. My involvement at First Unitarian has helped me become a more enlightened and compassionate human being. Now, in conclusion, may you also experience personal growth through your involvement with the church. May all of our days be days of usefulness, and may we all do our part to make the world a more just and merciful place. Thank you.